Hi, my name is Marianne. I am a recruiter with the Admissions and Recruitment Office. A little bit about myself. I'm an environmental design graduate from OCAD. I'm currently a full-time product and furniture designer, a small business owner, and a lover of plants. So as Lulu mentioned, we were founded over 140 years ago in 1876 as the Ontario School of Art. We've made a number of transitions since that time to really support the evolving demand for a creative education. Our school is still rooted in the historical practices of art and design in Toronto and the rest of the country, but we've since grown to adapt to the changing digital age. If you're wondering a little bit about how we've been dealing with COVID-19, our physical facilities are still closed until at least January 1st, 2021. Um, this is as a cautionary measure to mitigate the impact of COVID-19 on our communities. OCAD has been monitoring the outbreak very closely. We're maintaining close communication with Toronto Public Health Ontario, the Council of Ontario Universities, and Universities Canada. But while our physical office is closed, we ask that you don't hesitate to get in touch. Our team is still working remotely, regular business hours during Monday to Friday, 9 to 5. So you can feel free to send us an email at admissions@ocadu.ca. We ask that you don't phone, as our phone line and emails are not being monitored at this time. In terms of how we have been dealing with the pandemic, we created a gradual opening strategy, which was created for a safe campus for safe return to campus for our staff, students, and faculty. We really wanted to create a measured and flexible way of opening university facilities with the necessary safety protocols in place. While the province remains in stage 2 of the pandemic response, our gradual opening strategy addresses things like safe access to all campus facilities, protocols for cleaning, physical distancing, infection control and tracing, and lastly, implementing preventative measures in challenging spaces on campus, spaces like studios, offices, washrooms, and elevators. In terms of our courses, we are offering all of the courses in our program across all 18 undergraduate programs remotely and online. We are looking into merging ways of hybrid learning come January, where it will be a mixture of online learning with the use of physical facilities, studios, workshops. But of course, all of those are dependent on our health and safety guidelines. As you can imagine, we are a community of artists, designers, innovators, makers, and so much more. If you find yourself creative in any way, shape, or form, you'll find yourself right at home with classmates, peers, faculty that really share those same ambitions as you. Here is our building. The building in our school's current location opened in 1921, which included a number of shops and studios which still exist today. Last year, we actually had a full renovation of all of our shops and studios. Which is something to look forward to when our physical facilities do open back up. In 2004, the Sharp Center for Design, or the tabletop, opened for our expanding faculty of design. That is where most of our design faculty courses are held. In terms of stats, we are the largest art school in Canada with 4,500 students across 18 undergraduate programs and 7 graduate programs. We actually are the 4th largest art and design school within North America, with 19% of our student body, who are international students coming from over 50 countries all over the world. We also benefit greatly from small class sizes. We have a 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio, which means you'd be on a first name basis with your classmates, your peers, your professors, which is a really great way for you to network and really grow off of your community. We have over 60 exchange partners worldwide with art and design universities all over the world. So if you're interested in something like an exchange program, you do have the opportunity to do so within your third and fourth year. We also do have over 400 industry partnerships, which would really allow our students to work and gain experience with industry professionals inside and outside of the classroom, engaging in things like research, internships, field study placements, and future job opportunities. Location is incredibly important when it comes to post-secondary education. If you're studying art and design, you really want to be in a city that's full of opportunities. Toronto is the fourth largest city in North America, the largest in Canada, and home to a vibrant community of working and practicing artists, designers, and creative professionals, which means there are plenty of ways for you plenty of opportunities for you as a student. And when you graduate, Toronto is home to major museums, galleries, and cultural institutions. OCADU itself is immersed in the core of arts and design culture in Toronto. Our campus is situated in the heart of the city. We're just steps away from the shops on Queen Street West, Kensington Market, and Chinatown. We're also on the border of the entertainment district and fashion district of Toronto. You can see here we have a really great space on campus, which is a great escape from the hustle and bustle of downtown Toronto. We are also physically connected to the Art Gallery of Ontario, which is a great resource for our students to have access to. Some of our courses are even hosted from the AGO. Even though we are such a specialized institution, we still have all of the student services you would expect of a university. We have a writing and learning center, student wellness center, student accessibility services, a very dedicated career development department. Though we don't have our own residency, we do have several housing partners throughout the city. Um, so there are opportunities for residence style, co-op style, and homestays. When you're choosing a university, you of course need to consider the program, the city, the location, but also importantly is the atmosphere. OCAD University is not a traditional university. It's full of makers, thinkers, filmmakers, graphic designers, filmmakers. It really is a creative community, and lots of the learning, as well as the fun stuff, extends beyond the classroom. When you're in the studio collaborating with classmates and faculty, or working on interesting projects within industry. At OCADU, we like to focus on these core things, having our students network and grow their skills through our creative community, developing critical and conceptual thinking. Art and design school is not all about making, and we understand that. We know that it's grounded in a strong critical, conceptual, and creative thinking. We want to have well-rounded artists who really can place your work in a historical context, who are intelligent, who can run your own businesses. So it's not all about the making. Art and design school is still a very rigorous academic environment, just like any other university. The nice thing is that it's all focused around supporting your studio practice. We also have a special focus on harnessing your imagination and innovation, creating an environment where you really can dream and foster your crazy ideas, resulting in interesting and powerful actions that can be world changing and can extend beyond the art and design disciplines. Um, in industries, the skills that you develop around using your imagination are a tool and are important and in demand. We also create problem solvers who know how to prototype and experiment uh, and analyze and solve and build. The skill set of creative problem solving is often unique to artists and designers, and it's a hugely important, flexible, and adaptable tool. It's one of the most important things that you'll learn to develop while you're here. And we do all of this through experiential learning. This happens in a range of ways on our campus through exchange programs, internships, field placements, in class connection to industry. Um, there are tons of ways that to really engage with the real world at our school. If you're wondering what you can study, you'd have your major, which is your core focus throughout your time at OCAD. Minors are optional, but a really great way to tailor your education and add a secondary focus alongside of your major. We also sprinkle liberal arts, sciences, and humanities or lecture-based courses throughout your 4 years to teach our students how to ground their work in a deeper historical and contemporary context. And we also offer electives in a variety of disciplines to allow our students to learn complementary skills and really produce interdisciplinary artists and designers. In terms of the programs that we offer, we have 18 undergraduate programs. We have creative writing, criticism, and curatorial practice. If you're interested in being something like an advocate for artists, a curator for a museum, a gallery, or exhibition setting, we have sculpture and installation, printmaking and publications, drawing and painting, which is one of our most popular programs, integrated media, which is our version of a film program. Um, we have a specialization in digital painting and expanded animation, which looks at all forms of 2D and 3D animation. We have photography, cross-disciplinary life studies, indigenous visual culture. We have one non-studio based program, which is in our Bachelor of Arts faculty. This is our visual and critical studies program, our version of an art history program. We also have in our Bachelor of Design faculty advertising, graphic design, industrial design, which is a mixture of product, app, and experience design. We have illustration, the more commercial side of drawing and painting, environmental design, which looks at all forms of built environment from architecture to interior design, landscape design, urban planning. And we also have a specialization within that environmental design program in interior design. Which is accredited, so it is a direct pathway if you do want to become something like a licensed interior designer. We also do have two programs that fall within that can fall either within a fine arts or design degree. Basically, at the end of your 4 years, you get to choose which designation you'd prefer. Those two programs are our material art and design, which is our version of a fashion program, but it's not just limited to that. It also looks at working with fibers, textiles, pattern making, garment making, metalsmithing, and ceramics. So, really, all forms of wearable art. And then we have digital futures, which we like to say is our game design and development program. It's the intersection of art, design, technology, business, and enterprise. So if you have a strong applied technology skill set in something like coding or computer science, but you still want to take a more creative look at those fields, that could be a good pathway for you. We also do have this list of minors, which can be paired with any of the major programs that I listed on the previous page. We have minors in things like printmaking, illustration, industrial ceramics, furniture design, creative writing, communication design. So, choosing the right program is one of the crucial decisions to make when you're thinking about university. I strongly encourage you to pursue the program that you feel that you are the best fit for, the program that you are the most passionate about. You'll really be more successful in something that you're happy doing. It's also helpful to know that we are looking for the right fit in the portfolio, so you stand a stronger chance of gaining admissions to a program you're passionate about pursuing. In terms of the application process, you're going to apply online through OAC. The deadline is February 1st. You're going to submit your portfolio and your supplementary materials. If we're interested in having you as a prospective student, we'd send you an offer of admissions. As long as you meet the entrance academic requirements by mid-July, we'd be seeing you in fall 2021. Applying for studio-based programs, we require a statement of intent, your portfolio, and for you to meet those academic and entrance requirements. In terms of academic requirements for British Columbia high school students, we're looking for your senior secondary graduation diploma, 5 grade 12 courses with an average of 70%, one of those courses being English 12 with 70% or higher. So because our admissions process is heavily portfolio based, let's really dig into what we're looking for those works. In general, there's no magical checklist for what we're looking for or what we want you to include. We're really looking to see who you are as a creative person, artist, designer, or maker. I also want to emphasize that the portfolio is not just about skill, talent, or technique. It's also about using your work to say something, to tell stories, to solve problems, explore topics and themes that are really important to you. So we really want to see that creative thinking behind the work. You should include things that you're proud of and excited about. It could be school projects, but also a lot of self-directed work so we can get a better look at who you are as a creative person. In terms of requirements, we're looking for 8 to 10 pieces of original work, usually 50% directed to the program that you're applying for. The other half can be a variety of things. One of those 8 to 10 pieces will be your process work or sketchbook, basically the messy stuff, the process, development, research, notes, failed attempts. Really use this as your creative journal and let us understand how you go from point A, your starting point, to point B, your finished product. We want to understand that full line of thinking that you go through before you get there. These are a list of things that you can include, but basically anything that really showcases your creativity, we want to see it. And remember to document your work well. Our portfolio is completely online, so you really want to make sure you're taking good photos of your work with proper lighting, plain background, crop where it needs to be cropped, take detailed shots of the parts that you want to highlight and you really want to showcase. Make sure that you're trying to be as professional as you can be. You'll also be including your statement of intent, which is basically a 250 to 300 word document. That's you explaining who you are, what you do, why you do it, why you're choosing OCAD U in the program that you're choosing. And for the portfolio submissions, basically you're going to upload images of each of your works to Slideroom. You're going to provide details, let us know the medium, the dimensions, and then have a very brief and concise, straight to the point explanation of your works. And then you're going to upload that statement of intent as well to the online portfolio. So again, the application process, you're going to apply online through OAC. The deadline is February 1st. Once we process your application, you're going to receive a link to the online portfolio website called Slideroom. You're going to submit those 8 to 10 pieces of original work, one of those works being your process work or sketchbook. Again, 50% directed to the program that you're applying for. The other half can be a variety of things. And then you're also going to include your statement of intent, which is a 250 to 300 word document, you explaining who you are, what you do, why you do it. And then once we review your portfolio, if we find that you're a good fit for the program you applied for, we want to have you as a prospective student, we'd send you an offer of admissions. As long as you meet those entrance academic requirements, by mid-July, we'd be seeing you in fall 2021. So that was just a brief overview of our application process and our school in general. I'll send the floor back to Lulu. Thank you for having me.
All right. Thank you, Marianne. Now let's begin our Q&A session. You could either raise your hand in the chat or you can type your question in the chat and I will read it out loud. While we're waiting for students to form their questions, I do have a question for you, Marianne. So how do students know if they are qualified for direct entry to an upper level or aka advanced standing?
For direct entry, um, you mean like if their portfolio is waived like before, so they don't have to submit before. Um,
Is there a fundamental year before they enter the program, or is just if you apply for this program and you will start inside of this program besides a fundamental year?
okay. Yeah, so typically you do have a foundational year. Um, that's your first year, but the foundations year is different amongst each program. So it's not like you choose your major at the point of application. So it's not a first year general foundations, general arts, and then you choose which program you're interested in. It's direct entry into the program that you've applied for, and then it's a foundations year, learning those technical skills for that specific program and that specific discipline. Mhm.
And we see another question here. If you see in the portfolio submission a suitability to a program not applied for, do you suggest an option to the applicant?
Yes. So if when we review your portfolio, we find that a lot of your works fit better in a different program, we would let you know um, that that might be the case, and that might be something that you may want to research and look into before you go ahead, because that does happen sometimes. Mhm.
All right, it seems like we don't have any more questions.